Good morning, Chris Gibson here at the chipping facility at Royal Queensland Golf Club. Just going to go through some practice drills and things like that that we use on a regular basis, and we try to get people to practice properly. So I have 3 yellow cones here. You'll also notice that I have, and I'll show you some footage of this in the video. There is 2 flags up there, the 2 closest flags here, and they've got some circles around them. One is for a better player, one is for our club golfer, to be able to give them a scoring game to produce the results that we'd like to see. So to start off with, we're not going to use a scoring game per se. We're just going to talk about 5 golf balls hitting some different shots. So you can choose to hit the 5 golf balls with one club. You could choose to then grab the 5 balls and come back and hit it with another club and average it out and see which is closest. So if we don't have a reference point up there, it's going to be then difficult to try and say, okay, well, these 5 golf balls with this golf club didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. So I have a lob wedge here. The only reason I'm going to use the more lofted route is because I'm trying to take out different surfaces. Right now we have 3 surfaces to try and judge. If I was to roll it, now if I don't feel that comfortable with rolling it, for me personally, my skill set allows me to be able to loft it on the green, control the spin, control the flight, and also be able to predict what the green's going to do. So I have a lob wedge, I might use a 9-iron or 7-iron. I'm going to hit a shot here for you. Just outside my little circles, it's about 6 feet away. So for the purposes of this, we're going to use a couple of different golf clubs. I actually just had one of my players see me just prior to me coming out here, and he said, I really struggled with my chip and runs yesterday. Now, this guy shot 7 under, so he couldn't have been struggling that much, but we just talked about there's a little false front here on this green, and if I fly it into that false front, hard to judge what it's going to do when it hits that upslope. So sometimes a 9-iron, a pitching wedge, may not be landing it into that upslope, may not be the shot. The lob wedge went a little bit closer. Sometimes the shot possibly could be the 7-iron or even lower to allow it to land before that upslope, and we judge the roll itself. So feet's quite close together. I'm down the shaft here. I'm going to use very little wrist angle, rotation from my rib cage, and allow that to roll up. So that's inside our first circle. So that would be a decent score for our scoring game. And then we could go to the pure extreme, even more if you wish to, i.e. the least amount of loft. And you've seen me do this in other videos around the 17th green. I feel I don't have control over that. That's me personally. But somebody else may have good control over that. So don't limit yourself, don't close your mind to one option in and around these greens. Okay? So I have a shot over here with over the top of the bunker. That's going to leave me with no option but to play a high lofted golf club. I have a shot over here in the rough, which we'll go through and play some of these shots in a second. And that gives me a couple of different options. We'll talk about how the ball reacts and so on and so forth. So let's get over and play some different shots.